some nerd power. It's the Falcon Paladin Hour, a podcast by Falcon Paladin and Somicron. Falcon hates puns and thinks that they're all wrong. One's American and one is an Aussie, talking about StarCraft 2 and the esports scene.
Hello, welcome to the podcast.
Thank you, fellow rain enjoyer, right now.
I never claimed to be enjoying the rain.
Oh, rain endurer then.
Yes, there we go.
Okay.
Yeah.
I apologize for assuming your reaction to the rain.
Well, I don't have to go out today, so it's not so bad.
Oh yeah, that's the best. That's the best weather is when you don't have to go out into it, right?
Right.
That's how I feel about snow. Snow is so pretty. If I don't have to drive in it, it's like the best.
Honestly, I feel like that about all weather. I'm like, oh, it's nice if I can just stay here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, rain, snow especially. I guess like really hot days is not necessarily something you can enjoy from inside. It's not like it makes a difference to your experience, but like you look outside and go, man, sure is hot outside. How nice.
I see kids frying eggs on the pavement.
Yeah, there you go. I guess, yeah. Wow, that car's tires melted to the pavement while I was at the stoplight. That would be one way for sure. Anyway, yeah, happy podcast day to you. Been reading a lot of Tower of God.
Yeah, still on that.
Yep. I'm up to, let's see, the web URL has title number 95, episode number 374.
374 out of...
I don't know.
Okay.
Where am I in this one? Yada, yada, yada. Yeah, these are long chapters too. Keep telling you. Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm probably up to 2018 at this point. So I've got 3 more years of this to go. So it's a lot. And I can totally understand why it was turned into an anime. There are a lot of fight scenes that are really interesting, like just a lot of different fight styles, and people learn new skills and stuff. And it doesn't translate super well to the static page. A lot of the time I'm like, all right, so something exploded. Next. I have a hard time understanding what's happening. And I'm not sure if that's the fault of the medium or if it's the fault of the artist just not being super clear in what they're trying to depict.
Okay.
But anyway, I found, at least for, what has been made into an anime so far, I thought the fight scenes were really well done, very clear as what was going on. And what those fight scenes are in the webtoon are not as clear. So I just feel like turning the rest of it into an anime would kind of help clear up some of what's happening here. But it's a lot. I mean, it's yeah, if we're saying what the material they use to do one season of the anime, I mean, to the point I'm at, it's probably at least 5 seasons, maybe 6.
And you've got 3 more years of content to read.
Correct.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's not like a Bleach or anything, but it's a lot if they want to do that. Yeah, kind of is. So I don't know. I think the story is great. The characters are compelling. They give us like he follows through. He doesn't just tease you with mysteries and then be like, I don't know, man. Maybe I'll answer it. Maybe not. Like he teases stuff, then he's like, bam, here it is. Here's a character that I introduced that people are afraid of, and like I'll let you stew on that for a while, and then you actually do meet him later, and it's nice. So yeah, it's good. And Bam's backstory shows up. I mean, 3 years after the thing starts, so that is kind of a delayed reveal for sure. But
well, you can't have everything immediately.
Right. So anyway, I'm just enjoying it. I thought I'd be through it by now, but it is honestly so much. There's so much to get through. But I'm having a good time with it. So that's what I've been blasting through recently. How about you? You've been rewatching Friends again?
No, I finished Friends, and then I moved on to How I Met Your Mother, and I finished that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
and then...
I'm just real quick. I'm just curious. How many times have you been through How I Met Your Mother?
At least 3.
Okay. How does your recent rewatch stack up? Does it improve your appreciation of the series, or is it less?
I would say it improves it, but it's definitely hitting diminishing returns.
Interesting. Okay.
Like I'm noticing all the things again. And I'm like, okay, nothing's really popping with me anymore.
Hmm.
And like YouTube's doing a thing where it's like, hey, you watched How I Met Your Mother recently, yeah? Would you like to see all these videos about it? And I'm like, sure, I'll try one. And it's like, here's 10 things you definitely missed on season 9 and that you would have had to rewatch it twice to pick up on. And I'm like, I know that. I know that. I know
And you're
that.
like,
I saw that.
that's
Yep.
that's
Yep.
me.
That
Yeah.
that was pretty obvious, I feel. That was okay. Like really not trying their YouTube video creators.
No, they're not.
No.
But I mean, at the same time, maybe their target demographic are people who just watched it once, maybe skipped some episodes, and like they were on their phone during half the episodes. So maybe for them, it's like, oh, this is new information. Thank you, YouTube.
Mm, sure. It's yeah. Okay, that's theoretical.
That's the people that they're trying to get. Because like I don't
Mhm.
know, is How I Met Your Mother something you like give your full attention to when you're watching?
Um, no, but I don't give my full attention to anything.
Oh, really?
Very rarely. Like if I'm in a movie theater, I'm not gonna pull out my phone and like check Twitter. So
Right.
when I'm there for decorum's sake, I'll give it my full attention. But if I'm
But
watching it
it's
on a subsequent repeat, like no.
yeah. I mean, so that's just a decorum thing. That's not a I'm giving the movie my full attention because I think it needs it. You're just giving it your full attention because society requires it.
Yeah, but the end result is the same.
Sure.
Like I
Sure,
still give
sure.
it my full attention. If I'm restricted, I will give it my attention.
Okay.
Yeah, I won't. But I mean, this is the problem
But
with 3 monitors. I can put my movie on one, and I've got Reddit and Discord open on the other 2. Like, there's no. I mean, I can close them, but then I just have monitors staring at me, being like,
use me. So
Google something."
there are a few things that I find I have to give my full attention to or I miss stuff.
Uh huh.
Like Mindhunter, the Netflix series about serial killer like
Sure.
methodology,
Yeah.
right?
How about
That was
season 1?
something. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like that was something where I would find myself, I would pull up on my phone and browse through Reddit while it's on, and then be like, wait, I missed something very cool. Hold on, I have to rewind a bunch. I was like, all right, you win, show. you're
Mhm.
you're doing enough stuff here where I feel like I need to have the full attention. So that earned my full attention. Also
Um.
stuff with subtitles.
Yeah.
100%.
Subtitles make it a little harder to look away because I'm like, oh, I pick up the word Sunday. I'm like, okay. So Sunday, Sunday. Okay, so they're telling them about where they live. I know that much. I'm gonna have to go back and like read the subtitles because I don't know the original word because it's a fantasy setting, and the word
Mhm.
is made up. Yeah, stuff with subtitles typically get more attention, and if I feel compelled to like look away at something, I'll pause it for that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
right. That is exactly the method you have to use. So
Yes.
anyway, good. So How I Met Your Mother, and then sorry, I went off on a huge tangent. You were going to say something else.
Um. Shit. What else have I been watching? I just finished watching all 3 John Wick movies.
Oh, nice. That is worth a rewatch, I think.
The third one's too long.
Okay.
Just way too long. The first one's like an hour and 40 minutes. The second one's like an hour, 2.5 hours. And it's just.
Yeah, the first
Oh.
one is really nice and tight and just
Mhm.
bam, 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 go through, we're done.
Yeah.
The third one, what I remember most about it is that John Wick is immortal, so that's nice.
It's true.
Because holy crap, should he be dead?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Maybe they'll introduce. I've always gotten kind of a supernatural vibe out of the series, right? It's not quite playing our world straight.
Yeah.
I don't
Because.
know.
Okay, so in chapter 2, there's the scene where John gets excommunicado and he's in like Grand Central Station or something in New York.
Yeah.
And Winston, who's the proprietor of the Continental
Yes.
Hotel, he gets everyone in the park to pause and look at him all at once.
Right.
And it's like, okay, it could just be that he has leverage over so many people in the city that they'll do whatever he wants. But I don't know. That's
That feels like some kind of level of supernatural control.
right. And then in the third one, there's these like ninja guys who can like disappear on a whim and like turn up behind you. And it's like, okay, they could
Yeah.
just be moving really, really fast, but they're in like the train station and there's a row of kids walking between John Wick and this guy. And then there's a guy who appears behind the other guy and then disappears while the kids are still walking and appears behind John Wick. It's like, how did you break the chain of these school children all like buddy system holding hands walking in a massive conga line?
Right. So
Yeah.
that's it, right? There is a certain supernatural element that exists within that world.
Certainly possible.
So
Yeah.
maybe John Wick does have supernatural powers of some kind because he should be dead if he's a regular human.
Maybe. I think my headcanon is that this is what Neo is doing once he plugs himself back into the Matrix.
He becomes an assassin, settles down, someone kills his dog, and he's
Mhm.
back in it.
Yeah.
Yeah, I could see that.
Yeah. It explains all the massive kung fu knowledge.
Oh
Ability to
yeah,
kill
and how good he is
everything,
with guns,
and
right?
dodging bullets. Yeah, and like Lawrence
Yeah.
Fishburne's there. It all makes sense.
That's not Lawrence Fishburne.
Yeah, it is.
Who?
Lawrence Fishburne's in both The Matrix and John Wick.
I forgot he was in the John Wick. He's the homeless dude. He's the homeless
Yeah.
prophet guy. Yeah,
He's the
yeah.
homeless king.
King, that's what he is.
The
I forgot.
brow
You're
or something.
right. He is there.
Yeah.
Totally. It is totally. So that's what the new Matrix movie is. It's just John Wick. That'd be hilarious. They're like, come see the new John Wick movie. And then it shows the Matrix. Or no, so it's just John Wick. Sorry. It's just John Wick. The
Yeah.
first one. Everyone's like,
Well-
this is great, but like, what?
Well, no. Well, think about it. The last John Wick movie ends on like and we'll be back next time, right? In John Wick 4.
Yeah.
And then now it's the Matrix 4 coming out. I don't know. I think they might be the same movie.
The Fours. You're right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay. I like this theory. It's not going to happen, but it's a good one.
No, of course not.
I mean, honestly, the John Wick movies are probably better than what the new Matrix movie is going to be my guess.
Yeah, you know.
Likely.
Probably, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I have some level of hope for the new Matrix.
Oh, sure, yeah. Like,
I mean, the problem with 2 and 3 is it gets bogged down in a ton of expositional dialogue,
mhm.
and the CGI isn't as like good. It's a little too obvious. A lot of what's going on in 2 and 3.
It does not hold up.
No. So I think if they can avoid those mistakes, if they can avoid huge expositional dumps that are confusing
Mhm,
and bad CGI,
mhm.
and maybe get the same dudes who've been doing the fight choreography for John Wick to come over and do their Matrix stuff,
Maybe.
it could be great. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
We'll have to see. When is that again?
I have no idea. It could already be out, and
Neither.
I don't know.
It is not. December 22nd. So coming up.
Oh yeah.
Nice little Christmas film, Matrix, Christmas, Yep.
Right up there with Die Hard.
Spider-Man, and Die Hard. Spider-Man's also Christmas.
Yes, that's true.
Spider-Man No Way Home is
I gotta
December
wait till
17th.
next year for Matrix.
Oh my gosh, why does everyone hate you so much?
January 1st.
Oh, well, it's not terrible.
No,
It sucks still, though.
it's like 9 days, but it's gonna be okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I think No Way Home is probably the most amped, most hyped movie event of the rest of the year.
Mm-hmm.
But Matrix is up there. I think there are a lot of people excited about that one.
Sure. Yeah. I mean, Spider-Man at the moment is going through like hype fever on Twitter at the very least because
Yeah.
of leaks and posters and all sorts of
Well,
stuff going on.
Well, and the fact that they've been really secretive about what this is. Right?
I don't think they've been any more secretive than any of the other movies.
It's a good point. They don't like to give stuff away. And Vincey's gonna be there. Like, that's just kind of stuff that I don't remember hearing in the other Marvel films. No one's like,
Yeah, but that's because there isn't a Sony Iron Man, right? Like to draw from. Spider-Man is just lucky because they've got 2 other serial attempts at making Spider-Man movies to pull from.
Right. That's true.
Yeah. But I would say that there's always been like theory crafting about who the villain's gonna be, who's gonna be playing the villain, what's that gonna be like? Will we see Thanos, etc., etc. I feel like there's been maybe playing havoc with the internet outside.
With the bits.
Yep.
Maybe. What were we talking about? Spider-Man. Oh, Thanos.
Yeah.
I don't watch trailers. I'm a bad person to make this claim, but was there really no hint of Thanos in the Infinity War trailers? I'm
No,
gonna go watch one right now.
there was. I'm talking about the other movies, right?
Okay.
Right. Like there was tons of theory crafting going on behind like what's going on in Endgame, right? Like people didn't know the title of the movie, and they released that really weird picture of I think it was like one of the Russo brothers sitting on a chair, being like, "Here's the title of the movie," and if you connected the dots with the shadows and the ladder and like a stage light, it spelled out Endgame, but only if you like squint real hard and then like drink a load of cough medicine beforehand.
That's true. I guess I'm not saying there's never been any kind of crazy theory crafting about other films. I just feel like it's reached a level for No Way Home that I haven't seen in other Marvel films.
Sure, yeah, and I think that's entirely because it's like, oh, it's Sony and Marvel like really actually coming together and letting their previous franchise attempts at this like work together in a interesting way.
Right. And because of how much Marvel has worked on, the MCU's worked on introducing multiverse theory over the last few TV shows and stuff.
Mm-hmm. Even the last Spider-Man movie.
Yeah, exactly.
Even if it was just a joke.
Yeah, that's a good point, actually.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mm.
So he used the truth about multiverse to trick everyone, but the truth, multiverse does exist.
Yeah,
Did he know that?
That's the question. Did Mysterio know that, or did he just make something up like we're told?
He guessed correctly.
Mm-hmm.
Like what? Yeah, somebody had to. Yeah, that's a thing in The Good Place. There's a dude who got high on, who like took LSD and like nailed everything that was real about the afterlife. And then there's a dude in Good Omens. No, a she in Good Omens, a witch, who accurately prophesies about the end of the world.
Okay.
But nobody believes her. But like all the gods are like, man, she nailed it. But yeah, she's just one of 800 billion people who've tried this in the history of the world, you know?
Right.
Anyway, it's just a funny thing. So yeah, maybe our bad guy Mysterio accidentally accurately predicted what was happening with the multiverse. I like that theory, actually.
I'm on board.
All right. What else is going on? Oh, so every once in a while, YouTube's like, "Hey, you want to watch something about Cyberpunk?" And I'm like, fine. I can watch somebody rant about it for another 10 minutes. I don't see why not.
And
this one is somebody found NPCs with daily routines.
Oh yeah.
So this is the only place in the whole game, but out in the desert, there's a little like trailer park.
Mm-hmm.
So out in the desert, there's that whole like industrial park area with rows and rows of like weird greenhouse things.
Sure, yeah.
Yeah, it's out in there, but there's a little trailer park where there's like 20 people who have daily routines. They sleep, they eat, they buy things from vendors. There's these graves that they go and mourn at every morning.
Huh.
Like it's the only place. Everybody else is just on a boring loop every 40 seconds.
Mm-hmm.
But these guys actually have daily routines. it's so they had this grand plan to give everybody a daily routine, and they made a big fuss about it, and then eventually they figured out it wasn't going to work. And they went in and scrubbed everything except for this one little group of dudes in the middle of the desert that they totally forgot about. I like that concept. It's interesting.
That's great. Yeah, they left in a little like proof of concept. Like
Yeah,
they use that to show their boss. Look, it technically can work. Ignore the man behind the screen. Like,
Well, that makes
and-
me wonder if they got it to work. It's just
Mm.
scale then, right? It's like, how long will it take you to implement this with all 8,000 NPCs in the game? And they're like, 6 months? Like, we don't have 6 months. We're shipping next week.
Yeah,
Scrap
might be
it.
it. Or it might be that they found out that the physical space in the city isn't large enough to hold 8,000 NPCs. Like, oh, we have so many NPCs walking around that if we were to give them all a daily routine, like people would find that people are going to the same grave to mourn, but like dozens of people, right? Because one of the things that they did emphasize was like, look at all these people here in Night City, and it's like, well, you can only have so many. Like, what's a vending machine that has infinite cans of drink because you have 600 people all buying from it every day, right? Like, there just isn't enough physical real estate to spread out that much daily routines and not have it still feel
Yeah, I
super
guess so.
generic.
But I always felt like most of your day as an NPC is taken up sleeping and like working, right? So if most of your dudes for 16 hours of the day are in one place, it can't be that hard.
Right. I mean, Night City, a famously heavily unemployed population of people who mostly run in street gangs. Yeah. Not
Well, that's the
exactly
question.
going to the office and punching 9 to 5, you know?
Well, okay, what percentage of people in Night City are running in street gangs? It seems
All
like
of
it's
them.
pretty high. Yeah,
But
I
if
think
they're
you're right.
not, they're corpos, right? Like, and sure,
Yeah,
someone's got to like answer the phones and do the paperwork.
yeah.
But
And
that doesn't matter.
somebody's
We don't see them anyway, and still, for the people that we do see, it's a lot of people.
yeah, it is.
Yeah. Yeah.
I don't know. I feel like it's possible. Maybe another development studio can pull it off one day.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Limitations of our technology. Just can't do it.
Well, maybe not today, but maybe one day. Before we're dead.
That'd be nice.
It'd be real nice. Maybe.
Mhm.
Yeah. Been playing Star Wars Knights of the Old Republic
Mhm.
a bunch.
Yeah.
And I played it originally back in 04 on the
Mhm.
Xbox.
Joe.
And it's amazing how far we've come with game limitations.
Okay.
So KOTOR is like, hey, you're a Jedi, you get to travel to all these planets. It's going to be awesome. You're like, sweet. Then each planet has like 10 total quests and 12 people who will have a conversation with you. And the area you can move around is like a city block in Cyberpunk.
Right.
So they're like, here's Tatooine. Here's a small town. You can go out into the desert. And then if you move more than like 50 feet in any direction, it's like, well, if you go out there, you'll get lost. Turn back. It's like, I see.
So
I
can
see what's
visit the
happening here.
desert. I can look out into the Dune Sea and say, not today.
Yeah. Well, there's like 3 places you can go in the desert. There's a giant sand crawler, and there's a sand people enclave you can go visit, and there's a cave. The end. So
Wow.
yeah. So they did their best. They're like, look, we really can't do much with the limitations of technology, and this has to be on console too. And so we're gonna give you a bunch of planets to go to, and maybe you won't notice there's not a lot to do at each of these planets because you're going to different planets. Isn't that cool? Yeah.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like Mass Effect 1, where it's like, oh,
Yeah.
okay, you've landed at the Citadel. Here's like the 3 streets you can walk down. You know,
Exactly. Yeah. This massive space station. It's the pride of everything.
Mhm.
And it's like you can visit two stores
Y-
and an embassy.
yeah, you can visit the embassy, the Presidium, where you can talk to a hologram, or you can head down to like the Shakura Sword or something, where you can visit a strip club. That's about it.
Yeah, exactly. So they're trying to give you a big, expansive, galaxy-spanning adventure, but
Mm.
there's only so much they can do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's just it's amazing how far we've come. I mean, Cyberpunk, for as disappointing as it is in a lot of ways, it's pretty incredible in other ways. Like for scale,
Sure.
for the lack of loading screens when you're outside, like
Yeah.
you can go from one edge of the map to the other without touching a loading screen.
Yeah.
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 So yeah, just there are improvements.
Sure.
That's all. The
But I
end.
mean, there are other games that have had big maps without loading screens before.
That's true.
That's not wholly new to Cyberpunk.
No, Red Dead Redemption 2 actually. That's another one.
Sure. GTA 5.
Uh-huh.
Fuel was a racing game, open world racing game, which boasts like a giant map. Like if you were to start at the bottom left hand corner and try to get to the top right hand corner, it's like a 4-hour drive. Which is mostly an issue of obstacles and like terrain management, but it's still a big map. It's like 100 kilometers square, something.
Gotcha.
Yeah, and that came out.
How long ago was that? Yeah.
2008, I think.
Okay, so very impressive then.
Yeah,
Cutting edge stuff.
but I mean, it was a racing game. Like there wasn't much else happening on the map, right?
Sure.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah, KOTOR's like loading, like there's you went to another part of this 100 square foot city, loading screen.
Yeah,
It's pretty bad. But fun. And it's kind of nice too, because it makes you feel like it's not going to take me 100 hours to clear this thing. So that's nice.
Oh, I
Bite-sized.
vastly misunderrepresented the size of the map. It came out in 2009 and is 5,560 square miles, or 1,440 square kilometers.
Dang.
Yeah, it's huge.
Yeah, that is huge. GG.
Yep.
Very nice.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see. I started going to the gym again for the first time in like 3 years, so that's been great for my legs. They're gonna fall off my body. Yep. They're really loving me right now. I go to get up from my desk and my legs are like, "What are you doing? We're resting. It's gonna hurt to try to walk." It's like, yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I've been watching Clone Wars on Disney Plus, the newest couple of seasons.
Okay.
The reason I like Clone Wars is because it's usually pretty action packed, and my brain, if there's a lot of stuff happening on the screen, my brain's like, "Ooh, stuff," and I forget that I'm running. But if it's a show that has a lot of talking, my brain's like, "Boring. What are we doing? Oh, we're running. No." So I choose Clone Wars because there's battles all the time. But the first 2 episodes of the season are like, there's a secret plot involving the clones, and this one clone went crazy and tried to kill a Jedi, and I'm like, I know where this is going. What is all this subterfuge and investigation happening for something that I know what the answer is? So bad. I'm gonna have to start skipping episodes. I don't know why would they do this? Why would they be like, here's a big mystery. Everybody watching knows what it is. You've all seen episode 3 already. But let me take you through the process of people trying to uncover the secret. You know they're going to fail, or you know they're going to get killed by the Emperor before they reveal it to everybody else, because this is a huge secret. Anyway, there's just no suspense at all, and it's driving me crazy.
Oh, you poor.
Come on, writers, figure it out.
Well, but the characters don't know, and that's why it's suspenseful, because you care so much about the characters.
Man, they try. Clone Wars tries so hard to be like, each of the clones has a different personality, and they give each other nicknames, and they don't see themselves as clones. They see themselves as fully realized human beings. But I'm like, you all look the same and sound the same, and you don't have any preferences because you're in the military. You can't be like, I want to be an accountant, or I'm interested in basketball, because you're just fighting all the time. There's no room to give them any kind of individuality, and it drives me crazy.
Yeah.
But they are very insistent at being like, the clones see themselves as people. Treat each other as people, even if no one else does. And it's like, look, man, I get it. I do. But you're not doing the work. All right. So yeah. Not recommending Clone Wars Season 6.
No? Okay.
No.
That's fair.
Yeah.
Yeah. I've been
Man.
playing a game called Crystar.
Crystar. Never heard of that one.
It is a JRPG.
Ah, excellent. Hey, what's up,
Um,
Aki?
oh hi. It is what's the way to say it? A game about murdering children and making teenage girls cry.
Holy smokes.
Um,
That
that is
yep.
a technically accurate description. You play as Ray, who's been dragged into the underworld, or purgatory, I should say, and you get forced into a contract with some demons because you have the power to be an executor, whatever that means. Um, and so they have you go around killing revenants, which they then later reveal are the souls of like people who are just trying to make their way through purgatory and reach reincarnation. Um, so when you kill marked and named enemies, you'll get like unlocks in your diary about who these people were. And it's like, oh, you just killed a kid who, when he died, he was playing hide and seek with his friends, and one of them suggested that he hides in like an old refrigerator. And yeah, it turns out his body wasn't found for a couple of years, and you just murdered his soul again.
Classic move.
Yeah. And so then when you get out of purgatory, you have to make your main character cry to forget the emotional trauma that she's just been through, and that's how you unlock gear and weapons and stuff.
That's not how getting over emotional trauma works.
Close enough. She cries about it, moves on. It's fine.
Switch between 4 playable characters.
Yeah.
Uncover each one of their past to see the sorrows they have endured. Wow, dark.
Yeah, so they're all pretty upset. Yeah. Combat's a little
It's a JRPG. It's not going to have amazing combat.
Sure it could.
Oh, okay.
What are you on about?
This person says, I played this for 45 minutes, had to get a refund. The graphics are great, but the gameplay and the animations are the worst.
The animations aren't bad. Gameplay's take it or leave it. Like, I can totally understand some people not liking it, but
yeah,
it's fine. And I mean, it's a JRPG. It's largely story driven.
Yeah.
Don't like the gameplay. Go watch a YouTube pod. It's fine.
I mean, there's a bunch of people that do like it here.
Yeah, it's got mostly positive reviews.
Yeah, great story, great visuals, good OST.
Sure.
Haven't found any bugs. Have you found any bugs?
I don't think so.
Nice.
Not that I'm aware of. Yeah, well, that's what I've been playing.
Cool.
Mm-hmm.
You gonna finish it?
Probably. Yeah.
Okay.
Give it a whirl.
Nice.
Yep. Although I'm thinking I might just stop checking the diary because it's like, oh, here's a girl who was like a genius, but her parents couldn't afford to send her to a proper school, and then all the other kids ignored her, and so one day she hung herself in the classroom. I'm like, God damn it, video game, could you not? Like, what is this? And then they give you like really well animated like videos showing you that as well, and it's like, oh god. It's like pulling at all the heartstrings. It's like deliberately upsetting, but it works somehow.
Emotionally manipulative. Pretty powerful.
Yeah.
Totally. So Eternals came out in the movie theaters.
Oh yeah, I've heard literally nothing.
Yeah, had a better opening weekend in the box office than Dune did, which is actually pretty impressive. Although the MCU has more like momentum behind it than Dune does at this point, so
right.
I'm thinking about it. That makes more sense. A bunch of people probably went to see it solely because it was an MCU movie, and that was it.
Probably, yeah. Audiences gave Eternals the worst reviews of any Marvel studio movie.
Critics did.
Audiences, it says on this.
And
this insider show. Yeah.
Hang on. I know the critic score was like, oh yeah, look. Critics 46, audience 80%.
Huh.
So it's weird because usually how these things work is
critics love it, audience love it. It's
flipped. Yeah, critics love it. So here's the thing. There's a lot of diversity in this film. There's a same-sex relationship, right? There's all this stuff that the traditionally right-wing everything new is bad and your sexual orientation doesn't count people,
Mm-hmm.
they will review bomb stuff like this, and then the critics will love it for the representation.
Sure.
But it's the opposite here, and I don't know what happened.
Well, the critics just don't think it's a great movie, and the
Yeah.
audience are praising it for that.
And we got rid of all the people who review bomb this stuff because it has
Well,
diversity and like there's a female character who's playing the lead. You know what I mean?
right. Well, all of those people got turned off at the last Marvel movie, like Endgame. It had like a gay character in it, in like the support group played by one of the Russo brothers. Like, well, that's the way
that's
Marvel leans. We're just not going to watch the movie anymore.
They just left.
Yeah.
Maybe so. Maybe you're right.
Yeah. That's...
Anywho, here's the thing. Even people that like it are all
Mhm.
pretty much in agreement that they're trying to fit too many characters in and too many storylines.
Sure.
And some of the characters don't have anything to do, and some of the storylines go nowhere.
I can believe that.
And the end, it has a major villain problem, like a lot of MCU movies do, where it's like the bad guy is entirely forgettable. There's CGI monster dogs you got to fight, and it's just like these are some of the major problems that the MCU has had over the years, and why are they back? I thought we were doing better with this.
Mhm.
So that's it. Even the people that liked it in spite of these things, and the people that didn't like it for these reasons. So yeah, it's just a total mess. It reminds me of like if the Russo brothers, if the MCU had tried to do Infinity War without having any of the Avengers movies first, or Captain America, or
Right.
Thor, and you just like had to introduce Captain America and introduce Thor and and spend all this time on their backstories and flashbacks and then also try to do a movie, it's impossible.
Yeah.
Like
So-
you needed the audience to have some level of shorthand in Infinity War to know who these people were, and they did all that work over the previous 10 years.
Mhm.
Eternals just tried to shortcut it, and it's just like, no.
Yeah.
Let this be a lesson to you. No. But like I said, it's making a ton of money for COVID times, and the audience score is great, so go figure.
Yeah. Yeah.
Maybe they won't learn any lessons at all. We can do this every time. We'll just introduce 10 new characters in every film.
Right. Also, it'll just be like blah, blah, blah.
Yeah. So Jon Snow and
Kit Harington.
Rob Stark.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah. I don't remember. Rob
So
Stark's character.
Yeah, so Richard Madden and Kit Harington, the two actors, they're in the film.
Okay. Yeah.
And there's a couple moments where the movie's just like, hey, remember Game of Thrones?
And like, we're trying to forget it, please.
Yeah, exactly. Well, there's just a scene where they meet each other, the characters in the film do.
Mm-hmm.
And it's just, your brain just immediately goes, oh man, it's Jon Snow and Rob Stark actually meeting again, which they never got to do in the show.
Yeah.
Because Rob went south and got murdered.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it's a little bit of a nice thing. Anyway, there's just so many characters. There's just a bunch of stuff like that. Like Angelina Jolie is in this movie. Salma Hayek's in this movie. Like massive world famous movie stars, and they just don't have a lot to do. It's so weird. Anyway, Eternals, not really recommended. Some people like it. I'm not saying it's the worst movie ever, but
Have you seen it?
no. I've seen some reviews and I've talked to a lot of people about it.
Okay.
But I can't bring myself to go see it.
Fair enough.
Because again, even the people that give it the thumbs up are like, but that's never a good sign.
Yeah, that's the butt's always the problem.
Yeah. Like if there's a movie that people just wholeheartedly enjoy and there are no buts, then okay, that's something that's going to get my attention. But Eternals does not do that.
Right.
Yeah. Yeah. What else is happening in the world today?
StarCraft is happening.
StarCraft is happening.
Did you see that Team Liquid map contest in DreamHack?
Yes.
So
That was the greatest. Yeah, I saw your clip in the Discord. That was the greatest thing.
So Scarlet and who was the other person? Was it Cure?
Cure.
Cure. Load into I should hardwire the map. And
Yeah.
after a few moments, Scarlet requests a pause and just is like, the map's broken. And
It's like 3 seconds.
yeah.
Yeah.
And sure enough, she's like her hatchery is not anywhere close to location. Like it's misplaced by I would say at least 2 queens.
Yeah. It's really far away from the minerals. I mean,
Mhm.
not like off the screen, but it's
No.
noticeably bad.
Mhm.
And it's just, do they not just run the maps past a professional or two before they
here-
put it into a tournament?
That's the weird thing that they're using the Team Liquid map contest versions of the
Yeah.
map. All what they did to resolve this was they reloaded the game with the ladder edition version, and it was fine.
Oh, why'd they do the Team Liquid the TLMC version anyway? That's dumb.
I have no idea, but that's what they
Okay.
were using for all of the games.
Yeah, that just sounds like a mistake. We shouldn't do that. The reason the ladder edition is the ladder edition is because someone's looked over it and made sure it's good for a ladder.
Good think, but no.
No, but this one was the Team Liquid Mac contest version.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
no, they're not going to do that. They're going to use the.
Oh,
TV
yeah.
version
They're
now.
not going. They
Yeah.
just. I don't. Who's running this? Honestly, ESL Pro Tour. ESL
Mhm.
is.
Mhm.
Anyway. So yeah. So Scarlet gets out of her group, looking pretty good actually. Finishes in first place.
Yeah.
Takes
Something
down Cure. Takes
not a-
down Trap 2-0. Good heavens, Scarlet.
Yeah.
What is going on?
Yeah. And T-Ball manages to get out of the game, get out of the group, and dead last, not winning a single map.
Rough stuff, T-Ball. I think we
al-
talked about this when we were looking at the group.
He almost took a game off Trap.
Nice.
There was a point where he had 16 army supply to Trap 0
Whoa.
and still lost.
I mean, it's Trap, so
He
I kind of
like
get it, but how?
he managed to fake out that he was not expanding and did like a 1-base Blink Stalker all in. And so he was able to get out Stalkers, a little proxy, Pylon, a Gateway, and really start applying pressure. But then, Trap did Trap things and microed his Stalkers in counter, and then eventually got up some shield batteries, and T-Ball just stuck around too long. Like, he sat there fighting Stalkers and probes in shield battery overcharge, kind of threw it.
He fought in overcharge?
Yeah.
Oh, T-Ball, buddy.
Yeah.
All right, fair enough. Rip.
Yep. But good on you for almost taking a game off Trap.
Horseshoes and hand grenades. All right, so Group B is tomorrow.
Mm-hmm.
Clem, Zest, Neeb, and Cyan.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good one.
Yeah.
I mean, Clem and Zest, unless Neeb does a Scarlet, and just like NA powers his way to first place in that group.
Doubt.
Yeah. But that's the thing. He's capable. The thing about Neeb, he doesn't underperform because it's not that he can't.
Mm-hmm.
It's just that he doesn't. It's very strange. Anyway.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Clemens Zest.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Rogue Dark Special Marine Lord.
Mm-hmm. Rogue Dark.
Pretty good one.
Yeah.
But Marine Lord's TPZ against Koreans has never been super hot.
No.
And then Cyril, Maru, Nice, and Showtime.
Mm-hmm. Do you think Showtime's got it in him?
He can beat Nice, and I think he can win a series against Cyril.
Really?
His PVZ is really good right now. Especially against the European Zergs, especially against Rainer and Cyril.
Right.
I think he can do it.
Yeah. Let's have a look at what Ligalac thinks.
Okay.
So these are what? Best of 3s. And it's Showtime. No, that's not how you spell Showtime. There we go. And Cyril. Let's see. 75.9% chance that Sarah will take him.
Okay.
Yeah, that's what it recommends.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
We'll see. That's why they play the games, because we don't know what's going to happen.
It's true. It's true.
No idea. None.
Mm-hmm.
Blah.
Yes.
Yes. There was something else I was going to talk about here. What is it? Where is it?
Mm-hmm.
I think I had a tab. Yeah.
Okay.
So, nope. Nothing.
Nothing.
I have a
That's it.
kid story, though.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So, my middle child who had the whole diabetes scare,
Mm-hmm.
he missed the announcement in class of when it was time to do the actual data collection for your science fair project.
Okay.
And then it was fall break the next week. So he didn't go into school. And then he gets back to school and his teacher's like, all right, it's due. And he's like, what? So he's all freaking out about that. And so I emailed his teacher and she was very nice. She's like, I understand Caleb's been through a lot recently and he's a
Mhm.
great student. We'll give him some extra time on this. And so it was fine.
Okay.
So then yesterday I go pick him up from his mom's after school and he's like, the presentation's tomorrow. I didn't know. And I'm like, all right, look, we can't look. The first time there was adequate reasoning as to why you forgot about this. This time, what is going on? So yeah. So we had to buy the big poster board thing and we had to do a bunch of printing and organize his data collection and get everything all ready to go in one night instead of, spending a couple days on it because
Right.
he didn't know it was due today.
Oh,
Just like,
I'm sure he
this
did.
is karmic payback because this is how I did every school project I was ever assigned in my entire life. It was very much night before. So the universe is like, well,
Night
you did this to
before.
your parents.
Did a day of. Come on.
Day of, morning of.
Well, no, I would argue with the teacher that, oh, no. This project is due on the 25th, not the 25th first period. All right, I have till the end of the day to give it to you.
Entirely something you can try. I don't know.
I think it worked
any
like
kids
twice.
listening to this.
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
Yeah, twice is pretty good. And that's more than I would have expected, actually.
I think twice is enough. I usually did them in advance. I usually had things finished on time.
That's good. You were responsible.
More or less.
Yeah. No, that's nice. Glad to hear it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Oh, you heard anything about this whole Kyle Rittenhouse trial that's going on?
No.
So, two interesting things about it. One, it's being live broadcast.
Okay.
Like on the internet. They just have cameras in the courtroom and they're just like, here it is. Which I don't know. I've ever seen them do that, at least not for a super high profile, big interest case, which this is.
Didn't they do that for the last guy who was being made a Supreme Court judge? Kavanaugh. Yeah, they had like his hearings and stuff were live.
Yes, but that's government process, which is just on C-SPAN all day, all the time anyway. That's very normal.
Okay.
This is criminal court proceedings being broadcast on the internet, which is, again, seems fairly new to me. So long story short, the 17-year-old kid, Kyle Rittenhouse, there's going to be a Black Lives Matter protest in Wisconsin, I think. And he lives the next state over, but I don't know, like 50 miles across the border.
Right.
So it's nobody knows the true motivation for this, but he decides to take an AK-47 with him and go across the border and be in town during this Black Lives Matter protest. So important fact number one, he's 17, legally cannot carry an AK-47 at all. So he was breaking the law that way. He shows up, and what happens in the first couple hours of his experience in this town is not known. There are no witnesses. He hasn't said anything about it. But there's this video that comes up where he's being chased by a group of protesters, like 8 or
Mm.
9 people just running after him, right?
Mhm.
So he trips and falls and turns, and this dude with a skateboard like cracks him with it, and then he shoots and kills this guy with his gun, right?
Okay.
So, and this is all on video. Like that's what made I think that's what made this such a huge story is this happened and there's video of it happening.
Mhm.
So then anyway, so a bunch of other stuff happens. He ends up shooting another guy in the arm. Um so this all goes to trial and it's now months and months later and this is happening.
Right.
Yeah. So anyway, bottom line here is so the video evidence is pretty clear that he's in his rights to defend himself legally
With an
from these
illegal
attacks.
firearm.
Yes,
Mm.
right. Because that's the law doesn't say you're illegally holding this weapon, you can't defend your life with it,
Right.
right? So
Mhm.
he's going to get busted for illegally possessing a firearm, yes.
Mhm.
But he's also being charged with the murder of uh
2 people.
these 2 people, right?
Yeah.
But yeah, the video evidence is very much he's running. He's not approaching anyone. He's not shooting at anyone. He is trying to get out of the situation. And then only when it becomes clear his life is being threatened is he shooting. And
Mhm.
so I figured, okay, so based on the video evidence, it's pretty obvious that legally he's within his rights. There must be other stuff. Maybe he was involved in a really bad shooting earlier that night. Like maybe he
Mhm.
did shoot an unarmed person who was no threat to him, and that's why these people were chasing him down, right? And then it'd be like, okay, so he's a threat. He's a threat to society at this point. People trying to take him down. I understand that,
Mhm.
but none of that happened. Like none of this happened.
I mean,
The court case is entirely about all we care about is for this video evidence we have of him running for his life. We don't know why. We're not
Mhm.
interested in talking about that. It's like, I want to know what happened. Anyway, that's what's been going on.
okay. I mean, I'm reading the Wikipedia page here, and
Hmm.
um, from the looks of it, the man had an illegal firearm, which is a
Yes.
Smith and Wesson M&P 15, not an AK, but
Right,
that's
right.
minor detail.
Fair.
So he travels interstate, even if it is only 15 miles, to a Black
Hmm.
Lives Matter protest. Uh, like I don't know why he felt the need to take a gun, but especially one that's not concealable. Like this is a rifle. It's not
Right. Can't tuck this into your waistband.
right. Like if he intended to bring it for his own personal defense, that's one thing. But um, if you're putting on a show with it, that's something else.
Yeah.
Um,
So the two sides here. So the right wing audience is going to see this and say he was there to defend businesses that were being burned as part of this protest, right?
mm-hmm.
So he was there to help the good salt of the earth Americans defend their car dealership, right? From these mean old Black Lives Matters protesters.
Yeah.
And it went bad. And then the left wing argument is he was there hoping to be able to shoot someone, right? He wanted to kill somebody that night. And it's like, I don't know. I can't read his mind. He's not testifying. Even the prosecution isn't trying to get into his mindset.
Mm.
So you can look at this either way you want, but I don't think anybody knows the truth about this kid of what his intent was.
Mm. Rittenhouse said he was there to provide medical aid and was carrying a med kit.
That too. But a lot of people said that. Like one of the
Sure.
dudes he shot and didn't die, he was also carrying a medical kit and there to provide medical aid. So like, all right,
Mm-hmm.
yeah. Anyway, uh, yeah, and the poor prosecution, they just have the toughest job. So they put the guy on the stand, the one who got shot and survived,
Mm-hmm.
and the defense is like, all right, look, walk us through this. What happened? Tell us your perspective of the whole thing. And eventually it gets to the point where they say, okay, so you advanced on Rittenhouse, you walked towards him, pulled out your gun and pointed at him. and then he shot you. And the witness is like, yes, that's what happened. And they're like, all right, that's pretty clear cut. Like, why are we here? And the prosecution attorney is just like face palming. And it's just, okay, look, man, I get it. I get you're disappointed about the result of this testimony, but what did you think was going to happen? I don't know what they're trying to do. It just seems like kind of a waste of time.
Probably, yeah.
Yeah. But again, if they had some witness earlier in the night who's like, yeah, this kid was just taking random shots into the crowd and we were chasing him to disarm him and like keep him from killing more people. 2 thumbs up. Let's prosecute him. Let's talk about that. But there's nothing. There's absolutely nothing about that. It's driving me crazy. So yeah, it's a total mess. It is a total mess of a situation. Everybody, I think, pretty much has their mind made up as to, whether they think he's guilty of murder or not. And the fact that it's just also being live broadcast is something that is giving a lot of people more interest in this than I think random other cases necessarily would.
Sure.
Yeah. So that's been going on.
Fair enough.
And how?
Sorry, I'm just like skimming
You're
over
reading?
the Wikipedia page. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Well, that's something that's happening.
It's interesting anyway. In my personal opinion.
That's fair. That's fair enough.
All right, cool. Well, anything else we need to cover, or is that pretty much it for us this week?
I think that's about it.
All right, very good. Well, thanks everybody for... Oh, actually, Aki just clipped something.
Yeah, clipped something a little while ago.
Can't call the victims in court. Yes, that's the same case. There is... Okay, just to give balance to this discussion, because I'm talking about something where I feel like the shooter is innocent. There's another case in Georgia where this black man was out jogging, and these white dudes in a pickup assume he's casing houses to rob them, chase him down, accost him, and shoot him dead. And it's like, okay, this is a clear-cut example of straight up murder. There is nothing to talk about here. There's no defense. I have no idea what the defense attorneys are even going to try to say here, because the dudes they're straight up about this. They're like, we thought he was a burglar. We chased him down. We accosted him. He attacked us and we killed him. It's like, was he armed? Nope. Neat, guys. I cannot believe you're very upfront about this story as you are. How dumb are you? Yeah, so that's terrible. So I hope those guys go to prison forever.
Yeah.
Less interesting case, but terrible.
Equally terrible.
Yeah, for sure.
All right. I think we're done here.
Nice. All right. That's going to be it from us. Thanks for hanging out. This has been Falcon Paladin Somicron with another edition of the Falcon Paladin Hour. You can check us out at twitch.tv/Somicron. We are streaming live. I mean, this is another daylight savings time thing, but at 9 p.m. Eastern in the US and noon?
Yeah, 1 p.m.
Dang it. 1 p.m. in Australia.
Yeah.
So close. Also, feel free to check out the merch at falconpaladin.store, and you can support the podcast directly by going to patreon.com/Somicron. So until next week, Tuesdays, stay safe and stay healthy, and above all, take care of yourself.
Bye.
Goodbye.